Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. Amid the ongoing tussle over the Chief Minister's post in Karnataka, CM Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar today met for breakfast in a bid to ease tensions and address the party's internal power crisis. Now, the breakfast meeting came a day after the Congress High Command intervened, asking both leaders to meet in order to resolve their differences. Immediately after the breakfast meeting, Siddaramaiah put out a picture saying that we are all one, we are united, and we'll go by whatever the High Command says. But the big question is that how fragile is this truce? And more significantly, the biggest question is that what is the unity formula which has been worked around between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar? We must not forget that Karnataka is poised to go for polls in 2028. So has DK Shivakumar got some kind of an assurance? And that's exactly what I asked, that what is the unity formula? So we'll try and answer these questions. Joining me this evening is senior journalist and political commentator Javed Ansari. Thank you so much, Javed, sir, for joining. We have Siddharth Sharma, independent media analyst. Thank you so much. And Professor D.S. Purnananda, who joins us. Thank you so much for joining. And I'll begin with Javed, sir. Javed, what do you think has forced both the leaders to come to a truce? Has some kind of a formula being worked around for 2028 elections?
But they've been forced to smoke the peace pipe for now by the high command of the party, because this unseemly public clamor on who would for the chief ministership was making both of them cut a very sorry figure, and was and it had the state government had become totally not dysfunctional. There was no governance, was at zero. The image of the party was taking a severe beating, and therefore the high command decided to step in. They actually ought to have stepped in much earlier. This mess, in a way, is a creation of the high command. At least they must take a large portion of the blame. I do not know of an instance, and my two other learned friends will correct me if I'm wrong, of an instance where this 50-50 formula has worked. I know for sure that in UP, when Mayawati and BJP agreed on this seat sharing, this chief minister sharing formula, Mayawati, after she finished her term, refused to hand over, and that government fell. The same, they tried the same thing in Rajasthan. Ashok Gehlot refused, and we know the disastrous consequences that befell that government. It was a lame duck government, and it came as no surprise that they lost the elections. In Chhattisgarh, it didn't exactly blow up in its face, thanks largely due to the magnanimity and the large-heartedness of Mr. T.S. Singh, the deputy CM. He was also promised the same 50-50 formula. He was promised chief ministership by rotation, which didn't come his way. But being a quintessential diehard congressman, he did create a public split and hung on. And of course, the Congress went and lost the elections, and another story. So I do not know where and whose brainwave this was to agree on a 50-50. You are just kicking the can down the line. You're not taking responsibility. The onus is on the central leadership to decide. They should have decided once and for all when the government formation was taking place. And because you brought this about, and I do believe that this is temporary, this is only an attempt to whitewash, but the cracks are visible to everybody. And with elections a year and a half or 2 years down the line, unless the Congress does a great job of recovering lost ground and of working unitedly, I don't think the Congress will start in a favorable position come the elections of 28.
No, but Javed, do you see this? I mean, the truce, of course, for the party, it's fine for that there is a truce between the two leaders. But can it be seen as a failure of the high command? Because high command it seems, hasn't been able to resolve the problems, resolve the differences. Because again, after a few months, maybe the party workers, the loyalists on both sides whether it is Siddaramaiah's camp or the DK Shivakumar's camp, they'll again raise the bogey that DK Shivakumar should be the CM, and Siddha's supporters will start preparing another charge sheet against DKs. So this has happened many times. So what is the guarantee it's not going to happen in next time again?
Look, this is an example of poor political management on the part of the central leadership. And it has happened because the central leadership is weak. The high command is high command only in name. It doesn't instill the kind of awe and fear it normally would have. Were the Congress party to have been in power at the center, then the situation would have been absolutely different. It's not just the fear, it's the fact that you can extend patronage, that if you remove, say, for example, for argument's sake, Mr. Siddaramaiah from Karnataka, you could bring him into the central government, or DK could have been, Mr. Shivakumar could have been mollified by moving him to the center. Now they don't have that kind of advantage. Apart from the fear factor, they don't have that kind of advantage. So what is it that you can offer? What is it that you can offer as form of compensation to somebody who you've asked to demit office, or you've asked to hold back his claims to chief ministership? You have to take a decision. The thought that postponing a decision is not a sign of strong leadership.
Yeah. I'll come to Professor Purnananda. Yesterday also you were on our show and we were discussing the same thing. What do you think has been the unity formula? Has there been any kind of a consensus between the two leaders, or the crisis has just been postponed for a while?
As you rightly said, the crisis has been postponed because they want to ensure that the next session of the assembly is held without any problems. In fact, both CM Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar, have said that their primary concern is to face the opposition in the assembly when the session begins in December, on the 8th of December. I'm sure after the next session of the assembly is over, there will still be discussions going on, on the issue of leadership. In fact, today, no one directly answered the question whether there was 2.5, agreement between them. They avoided the questions. They were repeatedly saying that they will abide by the decision taken by the central leadership. What has been going on in the last few weeks is a kind of political entertainment. The media people also knew that there would not be any immediate solution to this problem, and it's not so easy to resolve the leadership issue. I think this will continue. The issue will continue once the next session is over. But it is very important for the Congress party to put up a united face and then face the 2028 elections. The indications are that Siddaramaiah and DKS will remain together, will remain friends and they will fight the next elections together. And not only that, they have to do the main task of putting all these MLAs together, because some MLAs went to Delhi supposedly seeking support for DK Shivakumar, their leader, but DK Shivakumar himself denied that that any MLA had gone and seeking support for his CM's claim. But anyway, these things have been going on. So there is a kind of division among the MLAs, but their primary task now is to ensure that all MLAs are together. This is what both the CM and DCM are saying. But as you have said, as Ansari also said, the problem is not over. It has been effectively postponed.
No, but what could have assured DK Shivakumar? Because Professor Purnananda, I'll come to you on this. That do you think that DK Shivakumar must have thought that, okay, this is the last term for Siddaramaiah, so let's give him another 2.5 years to complete his term, and then for 2028, apparently or perhaps the Congress High Command will declare him as the CM?
Probably that is one possibility, that he has been assured that in the event of the Congress party winning the next election, he would be the chief ministerial candidate, which would to an extent satisfy DK Shivakumar. But now DK Shivakumar is one person who will not go against any decision taken by the High Command. The one person who can actually pose questions to the High Command and hold the decisions of the High Command is Siddaramaiah. DKC, as far as my knowledge goes, is someone who will, abide by what the party tells him. He has been a loyal, congressman all these years. So even if Siddaramaiah continues for another 2.5 years, DK Shivakumar, I think, will not create any problems, will not stake a claim, or he will not take one group away from the party. My understanding is that he will not do that, despite the efforts of the people in the opposition.
Right. So, if in totality, if you look at this crisis, it's been happening time and again. And since the time Siddaramaiah took over as the chief minister in 2023, it's like many, many times we've seen a crisis like this, Siddharth. Now, when the Karnataka government has completed its halfway mark, how do you assess the situation currently? That what has really happened? Have both the leaders got some kind of an assurance? And again, that same question, what according to you could be the unity formula?
Yeah, since I'm obviously coming on your show from Karnataka itself, I see this. There are two aspects to it. One is the political aspect, and another is the very interesting underlying aspect called the demography of it. The political aspect of it, I see this as a simple, very simple storm in a teacup, which will just dissipate. But underlying factor of demographies needs to be understood, because that is where this all stems from. Now, the reason I'm saying this is that there is enough empirical data to prove now that in India, no national party can dictate terms to a very strong regional leader. It can only cajole them. BJP had to yield to Balasaheb Thackeray in Maharashtra. BJP neither can get rid of Nitish Kumar in Bihar nor Yediyurappa in Karnataka. The same applies to Congress and Siddaramaiah also. Because since 1984, never has any national party crossed 40% of vote share in any election, and regional parties have always crossed that 40% vote share threshold. Now, Siddaramaiah has worked very hard to become a mass leader. As far back as 1994, he was the finance minister of Karnataka during the Janata Dal government. A state where finance ministry holds more importance than home ministry, because the crime rate in Karnataka is lower than other Hindi heartland states. So when Mr. Devegowda became the prime minister, he was the front runner, that is Siddaramaiah. But for some reason, Janata Dal ignored him. He then started working furiously on a structure called Ahinda. The acronym comes from Devrajers in 1972, but its practical execution was done by Mr. Siddaramaiah. That is a social engineering called Ahinda. Ahinda, as in A stands in Kannada for Alpasankhyaatru, that is minorities. Hin stands for Hindulida. Hindulida means backward. And Da stands for Dalits. That is Dalits are Dalits. This constitutes 39% of Karnataka's total population. And after nearly a decade of very hard work, at the end, he successfully engineered Karnataka socially to become the undisputed leader of this 39%. Only after he ensured that did Congress also accept him and also made him the chief minister. And after that, after becoming the Congress chief minister, since then he has become the only chief minister of Karnataka, irrespective of any political party, to have completed his term of 5 years since 1972. After 1972, no Karnataka chief minister has been able to complete 5-year term. Only Mr. Siddaramaiah has done that. Now, the problem with Congress is going to be, Congress has been selling the narrative across India since after 2024 कि जिसकी जितनी हिस्सेदारी उसकी उतनी भागीदारी, that is the Congress is banking on the OBC votes, the OBC consolidation. And Mr. Siddaramaiah is the only OBC chief minister of Congress anywhere in India. So how do you think that if Mr. Siddaramaiah is asked to step down, the BJP will go will come with a bulldozer on the entire Congress ecosystem? Now, we can perfectly understand Mr. DK Shivkumar's ambitions. But DK Shivkumar is also intelligent enough, he is also pragmatic enough to understand that he is a leader of a section of the minority of the Vokkaligas, not even the entire Vokkaligas. Vokkaligas constitute nearly like 10 or 11%. But even in that 11%, a section of it is taken away by Mr. Deve Gowda's family, Mr. Kumaraswamy. So I think what Mr. DK Shivakumar is trying to do is that he is keeping the hat in the ring. He is keeping the seat warm because he has shown undisputedly he has been one of the most fiercely loyal party workers or loyalists for Congress. So he
You're
wants
saying
to make sure that nobody else is going to take his place. He also knows that age is on his side. So it's like a jostling match. It's like a jostling match. It's not an arm twisting match. It's a jostling match that is going on.
so that basically you said that since he's an OBC leader, which is why he becomes so indispensable for Congress at the moment.
It's a simple thing. No, he is the only OBC chief minister that the Congress has anywhere in India as the chief minister. Now, if Congress asks Mr. Siddaramaiah to step down, where does Congress's narrative of jiski jitni hissadari, uski utni bhagidari, they are tom-tomming everything in the entire India. The BJP will bulldoze Congress after that.
Right. I'll come to Professor Poorna Nanda and then I'll take the concluding comments from Mr. Javed Ansari. Professor, there are also few reports which say that now there is an impending cabinet reshuffle in Karnataka. And so the suspense is still not over, even though it might look like a temporary truce or a fragile truce or whatever you call it, but the suspense is still not over. So is there still a possibility of the change of guard once the cabinet reshuffle happens?
See, the problem with the cabinet reshuffle, as I see, if there is a cabinet reshuffle, it means that Siddaramaiah will continue. You can't reshuffle cabinet today and then make DK Shivakumar the chief minister after 1 or 2 months. So if cabinet reshuffle is a reality, then DK Shivakumar, the chief minister Siddaramaiah will continue as the chief minister. In fact, DK Shivakumar was saying, in the press conference that some MLAs had gone to Delhi seeking ministerial berths. So there is already some discussion going on cabinet reshuffle. If that is so, it is an indication that Siddaramaiah will continue as chief minister. And then one factual correction I want to make, that it was not that only in the 70s there was a chief minister who completed 5-year term. In fact, S.M. Krishna, who was chief minister from 1999 to 2004, completed a 5-year term. In fact, this completing 5-year term is also one of the grounds on which the other caste leaders or the community leaders are asking for chief ministerial posts for their own communities. They are saying that Siddaramaiah has completed 5 years as chief minister. So very few chief ministers have completed five-year term. So that is one thing. And then there are serious differences between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah as far as the caste issue is concerned, in the sense the caste survey that was carried out in 2015 and then again in 2025. I'm mentioning this because these are contentious issues which cannot be solved so easily, because the two dominant in fact the three communities, the Brahmins, the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas, all these three communities believe that the results of the first caste survey carried out in 2015 were erroneous. They believe that their populations are much higher than the populations shown in the supposedly leaked 2015 caste survey report. In fact, the organizations of these three communities have gone to court, you know, trying to stop the 2025 survey from being done. So these issues will remain, and now there will be pressure on CM Siddaramaiah to release the report of the cost survey. And again, the release of cost survey report will lead to a lot of controversy. It is unlikely that the survey report will be accepted by these dominant communities. So Siddaramaiah has to face a lot, with regard to this. On this issue, as a Vakaliga leader, DK Shivakumar has his own stand. In fact, the Vakaliga Sangha has questioned this in the court. Akila Bharata Veerashaiva Lingayata Mahasabha has questioned this, and ministers have links with these organizations. So it's not going to be easy at all.
Yeah. All right. So, in totality, Javed, I'll come to you now for the entire picture, what it looks like as far as this power tussle between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah looks like, and what direction do you see the things going from here on, also from the point of view of the High Command as well? You'll have to unmute. Javed, unmute yourself. Yeah.
The High Command needs to assert itself and take a decision. It's not an easy decision to take because they need to weigh the pros and cons. And like one of the panelists was saying, that Siddaramaiah is the only OBC face of the party at a time when you are spearheading this demand, going to town about this demand ki jiski jitni hissedari, proportional representation. This will knock the bottom out of that. It will knock the bottom out of that campaign. At the same time, so they need to do a very fine balancing act. They also need to reconcile the vaulting ambitions of both sides. They also need to ensure that DK Shivakumar stays within the fold, that he's not undermined in any way. So it's a very fine balancing act that the Central High Command, and they ought to have thought this through when saying that, okay, your chance for you will also be made, don't worry. From what I gather, I could be wrong, is that at the time when there was this tussle going around, because DK had thrown his hat in the ring at the time of government formation, in order to quell that, in order to put at rest that speculation and to bring the two together, a very senior person, I'm told, none other than Mrs. Sonia Gandhi herself, told him that don't worry, your interests will be taken care of, your chance will come. Now,
right.
DK and his followers believe that this meant a 50-50. Mr. Siddaramaiah interprets it as a 5-year term. So, I mean, this is a very fine, delicate balance. It needs to be resolved, because right now Karnataka Congress is a house divided. As it is, they will face an anti-incumbency problem at the time of the 28 elections. Unless they get there, so the Central High Command has to ensure that there are no fissures, and whatever fissures exist are papered over, so that they put up and for the remainder of the term, it runs smoothly and has some work to be able to show on the back of which they can go and face the electorate in 28. So not an easy task, and their political management skills will be put to test.
No, but Javed, also one quick question before I wind up, that this becomes an uphill task for DK Shivakumar now to get back the Congress in power in 2028. Their entire responsibility, it seems, rests on DK Shivakumar's shoulders, because along with this is also attached his aspiration of becoming the chief minister. Now, what if the Congress doesn't come to power? Then where does DK Shivakumar go from there then? So will this not become a tougher fight for DK Shivakumar? Because anyways, Siddaramaiah, everybody is saying that this is the last term for Siddaramaiah. Beyond this, he might not continue as an active politician.
Assuming for argument's sake that the Congress doesn't win this election, it's not the end of the road for DK Shivakumar, no? He's still much younger. And 5 years down the line, who knows if the Congress does come back, Mr. DK Shivakumar will have his chances. I mean, I am by no means undermining this thing. His claims are very valid. He has stayed even in the most difficult times. He's through thick and thin. He stayed with the Congress party. He was given offers. He was kept in a jail in Delhi and given offers that you just name the Gandhis, and you just give a statement saying that they were a part of all this, and all the cases will be withdrawn and you will go out. But he faced all that. So, I mean, he also, you can't write off his claims.
Absolutely. In fact, today he repeated this claim that he still remains a loyal soldier of the party. This is what exactly he said after the breakfast meeting. So we'll have to see how things shape up as far as the Karnataka power tussle is concerned. We'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Javed Ansari, Professor Purnanand. Siddharth, very quick. Yeah, quick point. Yes.
Yeah, one thing, Bihar's success of Nitish is proof of the importance of a caste census. Nitish did it in Bihar and reaped the benefits. Only other state going to do a caste census right now is Karnataka. And just like as in cricket, an umpire needs to know something about cricket, a caste survey, simply because it tilts towards backward caste, can only be done by a backward chief minister. A forward caste chief minister simply cannot successfully execute a backward caste survey. DK Shivakumar is young, he is loyal. Siddaramaiah is also very mature. Siddaramaiah will keep on giving more power to DK, but the post, as far as the post is concerned, he will give only when he thinks he can walk into the sunset with full dignity. That's what is going to happen.
Sir, I beg to slightly, no politician ever believes that his time has come to walk into the sunset. In my limited experience.
That's right. Okay, it was an interesting discussion.
So at least that means that Siddaramaiah doesn't feel that his time of walking into the sunset has come as of now.
He will have to be led to the sunset.
Yeah, actually. Okay, thank you so much, all of you. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.